Welcome to Conversations in the Coop. It's a special playoff edition with both Trinity ice hockey coaches this week. We're joined by Trinity women's ice hockey coach Keith Maurice and Trinity men's ice hockey coach Matt Greason. Gentlemen, thanks for joining, and obviously an exciting time of year as we head into NESCAC play this weekend. The women will be on the road as the 5 seed playing number 4 seed Hamilton Saturday afternoon, and the men hosting number 8 seed Colby after winning the NESCAC regular season championship. Keith, talk about, does the buzz in practice change at all as we head into playoffs and everybody knows it's elimination hockey?
I think for this year we've kind of tried to stay even keeled even though it is the playoffs. We try, our saying throughout this year has been not too high, not too low, and just kind of staying, in the moment. So right now we're just taking one day at a time, each practice at a time, and it's a one game. It's the one game you got to kind of look forward to, and I think our team's been really good at that, keeping the calm, keeping it easy. But I think there is definitely some butterflies for sure for the first years. This is a new experience for them, but I think overall we've done a good job staying nice and keeled, and hopefully come out on top this weekend.
And Matt, what about you? Do the players talk about things a little bit differently now that they know, okay, now for the next few weeks we're in the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, we learned a very difficult lesson last year in the quarterfinals, and I think the constant balance is to show them that, yes, this is a different animal, postseason hockey, and what you did in the regular season isn't good enough for the postseason, while at the same time not having them grip their sticks too tight to say that any mistake is the end of everything, because it's not. But things do need to get ratcheted up, and last year I think we thought we were in a good spot, and we learned the hard way that we weren't. So hopefully this week in practice we get to the point where we're elevating who we are and what we do enough for a special run.
Well, it's been a special winter already. Teams combining for 35 regular season wins, which is the most in the regular season in quite some time. Matt's team, 20 wins in the regular season, 23-1 overall, ranked 5th in the country. Keith, your team been nationally ranked for the entirety of the second half of the season, currently checking in at number 10, 15 regular season wins. So I'll start with you, Keith. What's maybe been a little bit of the difference this year where you feel like your team took that big step forward competitively?
Yeah, I think this starts about 4 years ago when we recruited the senior class. Their leadership style and what they bring in every day has kind of really led the charge, over these past 3 years and then into this season. What they bring in, they really brought the team in together and really understood what we're trying to accomplish here. And it's taken some time, but I think a lot of the credit goes to the seniors class. And obviously, we're in a nice spot. We've been playing some great hockey, a couple of bumps here, and throughout those bumps we've learned some lessons. And I think it's just been growing as a team, and obviously helping getting some good first years that have stepped up right away for us has definitely helped us. I think that scoring ability was what we were kind of lacking in years past, and it's definitely changed this year. And Jenny Geider's had an unbelievable year, and I think a lot of your credit, the little boost when she came on and did the podcast here, she's been on kind of a tear. So it's been fun. It's been fun, and I think the girls have really bought into what it takes. And obviously, having practices with Matt, watching before, like the girls see, like Matt's done an unbelievable job here over his tenure, and has built that winning culture, and I feel like we've taken that step.
And Matt, for your group, you got a large senior class as well. It's a group that 2 years ago won a NESCAC championship and went to the NCAA tournament last year, had a great regular season, and like you said, unfortunately got upset in the NESCAC quarters, but 16-1-1 in the NESCAC this year, which is really phenomenal. So talk about what the difference has been for your group to maintain that consistency and that focus all year.
Yeah, I mean, I think unfortunately, whether we like it or not, adversity and setbacks are a great teacher in our business. And we this senior class has dealt with more, whether you go back to their first year when it was the pandemic, some high standard sophomore year in the NCAA tournament, we got ousted in the first round, or last year when some weirdness happened in the quarterfinals. We've learned some valuable lessons, and I think the consistency has ratcheted up this year for each and every one, because they know the stakes, and they know every day needs to be a day where you get better. And I think our seniors did a great job teaching that. It's as good a leadership group as we've ever had. And they've unfortunately had to use the scars that they've gained over their 4 years to teach those lessons to the other guys, but they've done a great job with it.
So when you've got a winter like this, obviously for the most part your seasons are kind of at opposite locations. Women are away on a Friday, Saturday. Men would be home Friday, Saturday, and vice versa. But the teams do cross paths in the rink every day at practice times. So what's that kind of shared positive energy? I think it's got to be helpful when both teams are winning. Everybody's feeling pretty good and supporting each other.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. And I kind of alluded to it a little bit earlier on, like, watching how these guys practice, every single day, how they compete every single day, what they bring, and obviously, what Matt's done over his tenure here is and that speaks for it. It's like you come in, our motto this year has also been like we practice harder than we play, because if we're setting that tempo right from the get go, games should be fun, should be good. And that's the one thing, when we're watching practices, if he's before us, and you just see the intensity that they bring each and every day, how they push each other each and every day. And at the end, like, you see them come together as a group, and that's what it's all about. In the end, is like you're battling with your teammates, and you're trying to accomplish something bigger than yourself. And that's definitely something that we've taken away from Matt's team and what he's done here. So it's fun.
Yeah, on that, I think there's a few things, right? I mean, we have an assistant coach who has a very vested interest in the women's ice hockey team. So when we're on the road, the beauty of the later start with 7:30 and 4, as soon as we get on the bus, we turn on the NSN to see how the women's game ends up. And we're, I'm not going to say we're as excited as Keith if they win, but we're pretty close. And I think what we enjoy about being around his program is, and it's taught me something, the women on his team just enjoy every minute that they're together. I've never seen a team that smiles as much around each other, a team that has as much fun warming up on the ice when things go well, or when something silly happens on the ice. They have a smile on their face, and that energy is nice to have in the building.
So you've played several weeks in a row of back-to-back games. Saturday, you're going into a situation, single game on the weekend. Your only game in like a 10, 11-day stretch, which is also what you see in the first couple rounds of the NCAAs. So where you're playing a single game standalone. Do you approach that any differently from how you run your lines, from like maybe length of shifts, anything like that, or just try and get in a groove and just piece good shifts together?
Yeah, for us, obviously you have kids that are on, and kids that are maybe not are on, so it's always, it could be your first line that's on, but at the same time, it could be your third line. Every game's a little bit different, and as a coach is trying to figure out which lines are producing for us and doing the little things right. And so for us, that's a big part of it, is trying to say, hey, like, maybe our first line isn't doing what they need to, give them a little bit of rest and make some adjustments throughout the game. In regards of just kind of one game, it's kind of the same thing. Like, we're preparing as much as we can, watching plenty of video on Hamilton and doing the little things and having the intensity in our practice is what's going to set us up.
Yeah, the strength of our team since in the last decade has been our depth and our ability to play at a pace with all four lines. So I get criticized for that sometimes. In big games, I'll play the fourth line a lot more than others, but our fourth line could be our second line some days. So we're gonna try to wear teams down with our depth and the pace we play with all four lines. I don't see much changing this weekend. Obviously, there are things that could happen in the game that could alter that, but we need all four lines to be going.
And last one for both of you, as we head into it's Trinity Days, so kind of a mid-semester break before spring break. So no classes Thursday, Friday this week. Does that help or hurt, just in terms of students have obviously a little more time to think about what's in front of you, or great, we can actually just focus on playing hockey for the next 4 days?
I think it definitely helps, to have not the stress of going to the class. It's just like you're getting prepared for this weekend. You have the time to sleep in if you need to sleep in, making sure that you're getting a good meal. And so I think, coming into Trin Days, this definitely helps us to prepare for this and get ready, for the weekend.
Yeah, it's our job to make sure it helps us. Yeah, I mean, whatever the situation calls for, we need to make sure it's to our advantage. So yeah, whether it means we can eat a little better, get our rest cycles better, we've got to take advantage of that without the distraction of class.
It's coming up on Saturday. Men's hockey at home in the NESCAC quarterfinals, 4 o'clock start. If you can't make it to Hartford, you can catch that on NSN. Women's hockey at Hamilton, 4:30 start on Saturday afternoon. That'll do it for this conversation on the Coop. For all the latest news, scores, and schedules, go to bantamsports.com. Follow us on social at Bantam Sports. Until next time.